Good morning, everybody. Just a reminder, please turn your videos on if your technology supports it, please. Um, and we'll get going here, maybe about 20 more seconds. What I need you guys to have out is I need you to have out your Sparta reading questions. We're going to go over a handful of those and then prepare for a debate tomorrow, okay? Discussion debate, all right? So that is a large yawn, Ian. Yeah. Monday morning. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I still got a bunch of people with their camera off. Again, just when we enter class, let's have a camera on so I know that you're here. We got one more person. Two more people. All right, so we got about 24, decent for Monday morning. Here is what I would like to do. So if you remember right, going back to Friday, which seems like a while ago, we had talked about Athens and some of the strengths and weaknesses of Athens, and you have that on your computer. Today I wanted to take a look at Sparta. And so these reading questions I had asked you to upload by 7:30 today, 7:30 this morning. I looked on there and 44 people out of about 85 had done that, a little over 50%. I'm still going to let you turn those in. So I'm going to go ahead and take the screen share briefly here. Okay. So that nobody is confused. Wanted to show you, so go to modules. And the end of last week, was module week number 5. And right at the end here, it says due Monday morning. This was the reading it was from. The questions are right here. So if you didn't get a chance yet, upload this, please. I've got 44 submissions. I would expect to see more than that by the end of this period, okay? All right. On that note, if you guys could pull those out, let's go over these. Let's not take forever so you guys have some time to work on your debate prep and it's not a bunch of homework, okay? That's not supposed to be the goal. So, all right. It says, as you read about the Spartan way of life, answer the following questions. I'm going to need just take a share of hands. Anyone can participate. I'm not giving extra credit today like I did the other day. I want to get through these. There's only 8 of them. So let's look at number 1. Remember, we talked quite a bit about the Athenian government. Davion, why did the Spartan form of government not change or not evolve?
They had no thoughts about change it because the form of government and society they had already was already right for them.
Yeah, they felt like they were already strong, so there was no reason to change, correct? Good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, good. All right. Let's go to number 2 then. How was the Spartan government set up? Is that a hand raise or is that Brooklyn trying to get in? Somebody raise your hand here. Tell me how the Spartan government was set up. All right, Ian.
Here, one sec. So they had 2 kings that were elected and stayed in office for 9 years, and they had 28 elders who advised the kings. Whoever shouted the loudest out of the 2 kings had the final say, but all of the real civic decisions were decided by the overseers who were elected annually.
All right. So a lot less people participating in government, correct? Yeah. Okay, good. So 28 men, 5 ephors or overseers, and then 2 kings. So that's a true oligarchy where you just have men who are older in charge. Okay, and definitely not the same democratic system that the Athenians had. All right. What was Sparta known for having compared to the other Greek city-states? Diamond.
Was it their military?
Yeah, it was their army. Um, they had the strongest land army of all the Greek city-states because they pride themselves on fighting on land versus the Athenians who pride themselves on their navy. Good. All right, number 4. What was the goal of Spartan education? Looking for somebody to participate here with their hand raised. Everybody else, if you didn't do this assignment, obviously you can be filling it in right now. Davion, you got it again? Go ahead.
Good soldiers and obedient citizens.
Yeah. 2 very simple goals. Good soldiers and obedient citizens. So you don't hear anything about the education of training the brain to think about cultural values and morals and ethics. It was about being a good soldier and being loyal. Okay. Number 5 says, when did a Spartan male finally have a normal home life? Diamond.
At the age of 60?
At the age of 60. Okay, so living in the ancient world till 60 without having died in battle, when really all you're doing to train your whole life is to fight, that's not very common. So it was very difficult to ever have a normal home life, and that's a true sign of an elder if you made it that far. Okay, good job. Let's go to 6. Let's talk about education for the women. How were women educated in Sparta? Ethan.
They were educated to be loyal, wise, uncomplaining wives, and healthy and strong mothers.
Okay, so loyal, healthy, so they can produce good babies. They did some gymnastics, but they stayed in the home. Yeah. Would you say they had more or less rights than the Athenian woman, Ethan?
I really don't remember off the top of my head.
All right, something we're going to have to go back and look at. All right, 7. Who were the Spartans the most loyal to? Davion.
Their state and the military.
All right, so their polis, their state, their city, and their military. Good. All right, last but not least, why was the character of the Spartans so strong? Ian.
It was because of how much control the polis had over their citizens and how, well, I don't want to say how well trained the citizens were, but they really were trained from such a young age. And it's also because of like the loyalty of the people.
Okay, so you're right. It's back to that whole loyalty thing. So I hope you guys are seeing that the Spartans had a different sense of loyalty to their city-state, their polis, than the Athenians. They valued a strong military and obedient city-state, where the Athenians valued different opinions and they valued discussing things to come up with the best answer. Okay, let's go through real quick. Let's go through some characteristics here. What made Athens strong versus, and so if you could, just do it by share of hands. Nathaniel, what do you got?
Their military.
Yeah, their military goes down in history as one of the strongest ever in the way that they train people. Zariah?
Their government.
So some could say their government was strong. Didn't have a lot of participation, but it worked well for them. Okay, good. Diamond.
Their citizens were loyal to them.
All right, so citizenship and loyalty. Good. Anything else that we point out that is strong? You might throw out a word like identity. Like they had strong identity. Ian?
How organized their government was.
Yeah. All right, good. What are some things that we could say that made them not as strong, so weak? Ian?
This didn't end up being a weakness for them, but it could have very easily. The fact that their citizens would so willingly die for the polis, because if they went in a battle that they 100% weren't going to win, all of their army would get wiped out.
Yeah. Death kind of being the goal to show your worth. Like that could be dangerous, obviously, for a city that doesn't have endless amounts of people. What else? Nathaniel.
Wouldn't the government also be weak because there's little people?
So you could also argue the government was weak because they didn't have a lot of people participate. Okay, good. Davion?
Men not being able to live with their wives and kids until the age of 30.
Yeah. Ian?
How little the women were educated.
Yeah. All right. That's a good start. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up here. I've got I'm gonna take a look here. Just not that. I'm gonna take a look at this just to see if I got any more submissions during this period. Let's see. I got one more. Okay. I got a quick video for you, and then I'll explain what we're gonna be doing with this information. So this is kind of a fun one. It comes from the movie 300. If you've never seen it, it's not all that historically accurate. It's very entertaining. But other than that, it's also extremely racist. Shows the Persian here, like the Persian advisor, as being African. But if you guys know where Persia was, it was in the Middle East, closer to India. And I don't know, they just make the Persians look stupid when they were really very smart conquerors. But here's a 3-minute clip. I want you guys kind of follow the dialogue, and then the end is kind of fun too. So, all right, we'll start here, and then I'll explain how we're going to set up for this debate.
Annihilation. Listen carefully, Leonidas. Xerxes conquers and controls everything he rests his eyes upon. He leads an army so massive it shakes the ground with its march, so vast it drinks the rivers dry. All the god King Xerxes requires is this, a simple offering of earth and water, a token of Sparta's submission to the will of Xerxes.
Submission. Well, that's a bit of a problem. See, rumor has it the Athenians have already turned you down. And if those philosophers and boy lovers have found that kind of nerve, then
we must be diplomatic.
And of course, Spartans have their reputation to consider.
Choose your next words carefully, Leonidas. They may be your last as king.
And water.
Madman. You're a madman.
Air and water. You'll find plenty of both down there.
No man, Persian or Greek, no man threatens a messenger.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
Here it comes.
Madness. This is Sparta!
All right, that's a little aggressive. We stop there. Don't want to glorify that. Okay. But Sparta was a very military-like people. Now, obviously, that's very Hollywood-ish. But as you guys know, or we talked a little bit about last week, the Spartans would actually work together with the Athenians to repel the Persians. What happened afterwards, and you could tell from the dialogue, is the Spartans and the Athenians didn't like each other. And so they're going to go to war in the year 431. Sparta is versus Athens. And this will end up eventually causing the demise of the Greek city-states for good. But in the meantime, we're going to have a little bit of discussion / debate tomorrow, or discussion debate about the two cultures and the values of these two cultures. Because I know you've learned about this in school before, and in English class you learn about, the influence of the Greeks in mythology. You guys were in class. I got this cool Spartan helmet when I was in Greece last time. And you guys ever heard of the Michigan State Spartans? I mean, obviously, it's still this idea of being tough and warlike and loyal, etc. And so here's your prompt. The year is 431 BC. You arrive on the shores of the Greek mainland, and you must decide whether to join the people of Athens or Sparta. So you're getting teleported back in time. Keep in mind that your decision can only be based on what has happened up to that point in history. So I'm going to be a spoiler alert. Although Sparta technically wins, they really don't, because they had to pay gold to Persia to get Persia to attack Athens. And that just opened the door for a guy by the name of Alexander the Great to come in and wreck this whole system. Okay. But nonetheless, this is before that happens. So you're going to prepare for the debate by writing facts on the chart you intend to use to support your side, as well as the facts you will use against the other side. At the bottom of the page, find a quote to support your argument by a historical figure. So there are a lot of quotes out there about the Spartans. There are a lot of quotes out there by the Athenians. Put the quote down, put the source down. In this box, it'd be something like the Athenians trained men to be, in gymnastics and learning music and learning how to think critically and develop the whole brain. You might use that as your positive. In Sparta, you might say they only trained the boys how to fight, and they lacked any type of ability to think for themselves. Okay? So that would be a positive for Athens and negative for Sparta. If you wanted to pick Sparta, you'd put the positive comments here and then things that you think are negative about Athens on the left-hand side. Okay? You're going to submit this back on Canvas here where it says modules. And it says right here, Greek debate prep due Monday night, 11:59. So that's tonight by midnight, okay? That's where you'll pick it up. Click on it, the assignment's there. and then submit it back here. As you can do it handwritten on notes, you can do it, and then just take a picture on your phone and email it to yourself, send it to yourself. You can also upload it as a Google Doc or as a Word doc. It's up to you. Okay. Do I have any questions? That would be coming from you guys. If you didn't do this yet, make sure that you turn in your Sparta notes also, please.
It's not popping up.
What's
It
that?
says unpublished.
Oh, okay. Let me, I was going to take a picture of the people in class before everyone leaves. It says unpublished. Oh, maybe the module's unpublished. Hold on. It's not what I meant to do. Okay. It should be, oh, gosh, off my screen. Should be published now. So if you refresh the tab, should have no problem getting to it now.
It's published now.
Okay. All right. I've got pictures for who's here, so you guys are free to leave on your own. Obviously you've got 20 minutes or so to work on this. Should be able to upload it by the end of the class, I would imagine, so it's not homework. Okay. Trying to respect your time. You will get other homework. You can start on it. The intro for the week, it's on there, but I'll explain that tomorrow after we have our discussion. Okay. Athens or Sparta, you pick. You get to determine which one you'd rather be in. Okay. Hope everyone had a good weekend. If you did your extra credit assignment and you wanted to send that to me, I think I got 4 or 5. Send that to me.
See you, Mr. B.
All right. See you, man.
Bye, Mr. B.
Good day.